Only the new. Na-na-na-na. And who's got blue? In the pool, the trip to the spa. The whole world according to moi. Nossa, muito assim, tá bom?
Does it look weird? Do you see my rolls?
I mean, you're wearing a black girl.
Smile, we're black.
Bueno. Let's just start. What are the fights?
Yes.
Anyways. Hi, hello people, welcome back to OnBrand Podcast. Mi nombre es Rudina. I'm usually the producer of the podcast, pero as you can see, I am a host today because we're still doing OnBrand Abroad because I'm in Bonaire right now. And today with me I have a special friend. Zoom in, please. I have a special friend with me, and me deve lage introduce me some basic. But today we're gonna talk about the journey within.
Insert sound music.
And yeah, I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with my friend here because if there's anything we do best is have conversations, long as conversations.
Yes.
So who else should I have on the podcast if I have an amazing friend that I can have conversations with? Like, isn't it obvious? So, friend, introduce yourself.
Friend is called Philny. I am a 20-something Piscean gal, which means I am super emotional and expressive. I love expressing myself in the forms of writing or talking. Rudina can attest to that. And yeah, I love making connections with other people in the forms of conversation. So whenever Rudina approached me to join to do an episode, I was like, yeah. So here we are doing the damn thing.
And honestly, I'm very happy that you accepted my invitation because, I always wanted to do like an episode with Philny. I don't know why, but I envision always having a conversation with you. You seem like someone that loves to talk, so I was like, you know what? I want to do an episode with Philny.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited to see where today is going. Honestly, when I speak introduce Bomes, I feel like that kind of gives away Kaba how well you got to know yourself because you couldn't be able to say all of that.
Yeah.
So today, basically the journey within means getting to know yourself.
Yep.
That's it.
There's nothing else to it.
Exactly. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
When was the moment that you realized that you had to get to know yourself? I can imagine that, like, that in un momento que no te conoce and that algo pasa and then you started on the journey to get to know yourself.
Yeah. For me, it was in 2017. It was during the summer and I was babysitting during the summer. I lived in the United States for a while. So me coached the softball. Amita often wax UP. And then whenever she would come back home, we would sit, have coffee. I really, really love coffee, by the way.
Don't talk to me before I've had a sip of coffee.
Fun fact. And we would always talk about stuff. She introduced me to tarot cards and all that stuff. So siempre nos conversations estaba deep. And throughout one of our conversations, she was like, you know, I have this training that I went to, and I think it would be really beneficial for you. So she gave me a free pass to the training. So I went to that, I think in July 2017, so towards the end of summer. And it's called gratitude training, and it was a very in your face type of training. you experienced all kinds of emotions throughout the training because they were so upfront with everything. So it was literally like taking all your good, your bad, your half and halves, and lay it out there. And obviously you're in a room with a bunch of strangers, so it's identity más intimidating. People from all walks of life talking about all different things that they went through. And though you also had a chance then to like have an outer body experience with yourself, if that makes sense, because that's literally how it was. Because you look at yourself with a microscope and like, you know what, I was BSing through life, but now I see that I have to work on this, I have to work on that, I have to work on that. And though I honestly think that that was the moment for me, because I became aware of it. And I don't think you can start the process without actually becoming aware of something, because you can't tweak anything that you can't see, you know?
Exactly.
So in 2017, that was it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting, so like for me, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So, me te kere ku kung paturende, it's a kind of a different experience,
Yeah.
but we all lead to having an aha moment.
Aha moment. Yeah.
And because for me, it was like relationship involvement that I had with someone romantically.
It's not an entanglement.
We don't. That made me realize that, okay, I needed to get to know myself.
Yeah.
I got involved with someone, and it started like super fast.
Yeah.
I was like, one day we were friends, and then we were more romantically
more
involved.
than that.
And like di repente, ma come si realiza as things that go by, I'm being asked certain questions and I don't know how to answer them. Of me to do things, but somehow me gut bisami mane, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Of like, nunca me gusta mane, basta hindi man riba mi, and this person tam base tam mandando riba mi, and of like reacting a certain way about choices that I make, and I'm not liking it, but I still want to be with this person.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point something happened. I was like, you know what? I need some space. I need some space. So I took the space. I was like, I need my space right now. I'm not gonna check up on you anymore. And I took the space. And then I realized I need to work on something, because this is not right. Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And but that was like me aha moment, but that wasn't like, it wasn't like the first aha moment and on top of that, like the only aha moment that I had. It was the first, but not the only moment. After that, me and Mane kumisa walk a path towards like getting to know myself. But at some point it started to feel like, when you're walking home, or you're walking towards the place you're going, pero di repente maneta bira super foggy, mistig, and you can't see where you're going anymore. So I was literally lost on the way there. And it was kind of atrobe un aha moment van, I cannot approach it like this. It doesn't work for me like this. So it was something cool. Makeda stuck there for about 2 years probably.
Yeah.
And after that 2 years, I was like, no, I'm stuck here for too long. I cannot do this anymore. And the inana makumisakana a right path.
Yeah.
A path could work for me.
For you.
Paso ori bota mane realiza ko mane, okay, I can walk towards a goal. Camina mi que llega mi pocana mane diferente manera. Pero na tutur manera ko mi kana tabe work.
Exactly.
And ori tame bota mi a realiza ko mane ting cierta cosa que bom se passa sobre je para realizar cierta cosa.
You know what that is? It's growth.
Ito algo que me realiza pass after que actually make a
Yeah.
Cool. A growth A.
Yeah.
Como tamane, okay, everything happens for a reason. But se me não passa de say, não passa de say, não passa de say.
You wouldn't realize what you realized in the moment.
Exactly. I would have walked everything like smooth and all the rainbows and sunshine. Camina ko, I actually had to ugly cry.
Yeah.
I had to get maybe like hella depressive. I had to do all that para realizar cierto cosa.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. The journey, not just rainbows and you know, many petties and yoga and all that.
Exactly.
Like I'm not gonna say crap because it's not crap.
Yeah.
It's not crap. So for some people it's that.
Yeah.
For some people, it's of you know all of
it's
the
a mix of all of them.
Yes, it's a mix.
Especially when you know, for some people it is a couple of those things. It is some of the tools that they use, but I think the other side of it because what gets glorified the most is the inserts and music, because it's somehow shown that, you know, you need to reach a certain
in form of enlightenment.
Yeah, but the path to that is shitty.
Exactly.
Like you have to go through a lot of things.
Yes, exactly. Of it, a mix of it. Because like, it's being over glorified because that's what you see on social media. That's what you see on, like, when you search how to take care of yourself. Yeah. Go take, buy do yoga, buy massage, buy a massage.
Yeah, burn some sage in your room.
Exactly. Kuko.
I do burn sage, but my point is...
See, exactly. I'm not... That's what I said. I'm not saying it's crap. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But that's not the only thing. There's more to it. Anto ku hopi na da realiza e koi anto e koi ta pone ku hopi na da take a step paso e parti ku ta pone ku bota hit the ground.
That's the pivotal moment.
Those are the moments ku bota mane.
Yeah.
If I don't go through this, then I'm not gonna get to where I want to go.
Yeah. And those are like, looking back at my moments, and I'm like, dude, I literally felt like I have nowhere else to go. Like, it's like the lowest of the low where you just completely lost. And like you said, it's like when you're walking home, because home is like a place that you should know, a place that should be like safe and whatever, you know. So how can you not know your path to home? How does that make any sense? Exactly. That within itself, the level of anxiety with them in dude, am I flipping? Like, am I not okay? Because something simple as my home, I don't know how to reach it.
Exactly. Pero un style like ora kubo pambisa, you're supposed to feel comfortable in your house, but manera bo llega casa, but get depressed.
Yeah.
Of money at some point with a visit a friend and you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Then what's wrong with you?
Why can't you be by yourself? What's going on with yourself?
And then típicos ne te pone ku money. It's important.
Yeah.
And the dynamic llega, because like I think let's just talk about why is it like important, because I can't tell no one to money go do this, go do that.
Exactly.
Because the path to getting to know yourself, if the path to beside knowing yourself, that's different for everyone.
Yeah.
It's different for me. It's different for you.
Yep.
It's different for everyone and their mama who's watching.
Yep. Your mama too.
Exactly. So I think we should talk about the importance of it.
Yeah.
Like the important. Why is it important?
Yeah.
What do you think it is important?
I think, well, first and foremost, when, like I said, like I mentioned it earlier, like you can't tweak what you can't see. So you have to reach a certain level of awareness, and I wholeheartedly believe that we are continuously evolving beings. There's nunca but reach un milestone, and the después ora but look up, there's a couple other milestones que could reach. So eventually, sempre with the way the sinya, sempre but the way the experience goes, and like even when you reach a certain level of enlightenment, Zachma, that doesn't mean that the world is peaches and cream. You're still going to go through things. Crap, here we are again. But I think that una vez bo develop a certain way, bo level of approach changes. And that only changes because of the awareness you have of yourself.
Exactly.
So, you reached rock bottom once, you figured your way up. The next time something like that happens, but rock bottom is not going to be as low as it was the first time.
Exactly.
So I really think that the way for you to figure that out is becoming more aware of yourself when you get to know yourself. If I'm sad and I'm heartbroken, maybe I eat ice cream all the time, but ice cream isn't working. Maybe it's going to walk on the beach. That helps better. But there's no way you can know that if you don't really sit and experience your experiences and be like, what do I need? And though even if you do this now, the next time is probably not going to be the same method that you're using. So I really think that everything goes back to knowing yourself, finding out what works for you.
Yes.
So I think for personal development, for your evolvement, but mister, sit and figure out Kiko Abo as a person, mister. Kiko Abo, so spirit, mister.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, when you say personal development, me gewoon instantly think of like the mental state.
For real.
Like the mental state, how you evolve up here. Because like durante pensa, the physical part needs to be taken care of. Pero talaga aqui riba putri un style.
Yeah.
Pa bruto bisando. Anto juist bomente te lo que ta
Lead to everything.
sí.
Yeah. It's
Bo
literally
manera
like
di
the root and
pensa.
everything is rooted from that.
Exactly. Dus bo manera di reagere a certe cose, di con costa trigger bo, di con costa
Triggers.
di con costa trigger bo, di como tin certo like expectations.
Yeah.
All here. And I'm not saying that like self-care bijvoorbeeld not important, because that's important too.
Yeah.
Pero hope you not realiza que cierto cosa mambisa when you have anxiety, ta algo que sowieso the mental, but it's also physical. So die gente ta kumisa por ta tembla, of die gente ta mane hyperventilation bijvoorbeeld. But the why?
Yeah.
The inambo me se go inside and the whack. Mani,
Kiko
okay,
trigger
Kiko
bo.
a trigger bo. Kiko tabuta ku. Die onda e trigger e bi.
Yeah, kika trigger punto die kong ela trigger po.
See.
Yeah.
See. All of that. En toen kon je bij me echt bij sit kubo mis. Poso kubo
Yeah.
so. En toen I know ku nos alanta vooral aqui na Bonaire nos alanta mani ding like community. We're always part of a community.
Yeah.
A communal society.
Yeah.
Is that the word? I don't know.
I don't even know. It is
Pero
a
in
word
ieder
now.
geval, exactly. Pero nossa manelanta gewoon, nossa parte de comunidad, and we're always doing things together.
Yeah.
And whenever you do something, you have to post it online. Basta conture ne me se ayudabo celebrar. Ay. Tu ne me se ayudabo celebrar un style.
Yeah.
But so we got so uncomfortable being by ourselves.
Yeah.
Like it's not something we're used to here. Dus mane no ami ko abai bagulanda. Like I always, yeah, I'm not a good example, but so mita mane I love being by myself.
Loner, digamos.
I'm a loner, hella loner. Pero atrobe, there are certain parts di mi miss ko realiza ko no gusta ta alone.
Yeah.
Dus mane bijvoorbeeld me whole romantic involvement situation.
Yeah.
I didn't leave that instantly because I didn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
So, ainana yung contrast ka ba? I like being alone, pero toch at the same time, no? So, why is that?
Yeah.
De koi, tata algo kumimis, era echt sinta kumimis, and to realiza.
Yeah.
And of course, después, abien parte di, like, you know, ora ma realize, ore is self-care ta kaya din. Pero ora kumihayami in certain situations, ki kumimis sa ore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like it's something but hindi ka go back and forth between mind and body. But when figure out okay, it's like it work for me. And timbia algo otro ta pasa. Same situation, different thing. No, it's like not to work for me this time. I have to do something else.
Yeah.
And it's constantly about trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. And si bono ta okay with failing?
then it's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Exactly.
So, and it goes back to the being forever evolving, because nothing is ever gonna be stagnant. It's never going to be the same. And the like you said, so maybe the self-care practices that you used 2 years ago are nothing compared to what you're using now. And por that, 5 years from now, it's not going to be the same. Circumstances change every single day. You change as a person every single day. We continue to experience experiences every single day.
Yep. If there's something 2020 has taught us, is that normal to subjective. Normal to something that cambia constantly. What you trying to talk the new normal and stuff. Pero un style algo simple, madami pia, mi bocana bomas, that's a new normal for me.
Yeah.
It might not have exactly. Porta el afecta a mi familia. Pero new en tamane. Like realizar que it's a new normal.
Exactly.
What que está afectando nos turmes se ve así like something different. Nos tamane. Oh, it's a completely new normal. Di come puede ser cocky. Pero literally like.
And it's it didn't. I mean, yeah, okay. It took a pandemic for some people to see it, but in reality, turcos tasina. Turcos, que man. Dude, if you become sick, no, and then you have to watch what you eat, your new normal is gonna be salad 24/7. I don't know, pero so to speak, of like, basta que man turcos ta, bo por cambio turcos nada no te supposed to get the mesmo gosto. Because sometimes, many, yeah, some people are like, basta it's tradition of, we've done this the whole time like this. Pero ting asina tanto possibilities out there. See what the G's open-minded. But so change can happen anytime. And si bono siya na bon, sometimes bono siya na malu.
Exactly.
And COVID.
Exactly. And was aquí te cosmene, no te pasa esta tradition means it has to work for you. And inanan un cosco bota realizar. What realiza ko algo that work for you, ora but create a space, but create a time para conocer bom mes. But so si conocer bom mes, you're just gonna be like a robot kunando programa ni tit. You just go with the flow of society. But so it ain't life for sure. But you go with the flow of society and let society dictate what you're gonna do, what you're not gonna do. And you just live according to society, but not to explore, not about yourself, but it's constantly being neglected of what you feel.
Exactly.
What things make you feel. But think about in certain situations, not to work for you. You ask yourself why relationships doesn't work.
Yep.
Of like romantic, platonic, like home friendships, all that intimate, whatever you want to say. Not to work for you, pero ta gewoon paso, you're not living the way you're supposed to be living for you to exist.
Exactly. Either you're not aware of it or you're consciously ignoring your gut feeling. Because I honestly feel like your body tells you everything. And then, boda mira, eko iding, e manera ko boda sinti ora boda si algo, and do ta queda na abo si boda by tap into what that feeling is. Or you're going to continue doing something while you feel uncomfortable, while you feel sad or angry about it. It's all in your hands. Like, si bo take the time to tap in, things become clear, and then you know how to approach it differently.
Yeah, for sure.
So, if we talk about relationships, the love languages, for example. I think that, like, una vez me realized, everything makes so much sense. And that has to do with, like, bazaar people do kind gestures left and right, whatever, okay? But you feel differently depending on kiko e act ng tahasita.
Yes.
And me love language, the physical touch, and don't hear me words of affirmation. And I'm like, okay, thank you, that's nice.
Pero in order to fulfill you.
Exactly. And it's not a bad thing at all. It's just abo su preference. The abo su equal to keep you going, I guess. And that's one of the things kumene I always ask people if they know theirs. But so sometimes I want to do something ko ami ta kere ta kind, but it's not gonna correlate with you at all because it's not your thing.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yes, for sure. And don't be the kid. Before we like continue a conversation about love languages, it's good to say which love languages are, which is words of affirmation. You said physical touch,
and
quality time, and gift giving.
Yeah.
Toch?
Did you mention 4?
4.
And then the 5th one is active service.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
5.
There's a 5th one.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. So manebabisa, bayendo back, manebabisa ku it's good to know yours.
Yeah.
But gewoon everything else around you, it's something so simple, but everything else around you, that comienza a make sense.
Yeah.
Di como reageer ora ku may un gift, pero ehina no que anda kumi. Ehina no do na mi affection.
Yep.
Like di kong basta relationship even with your parents.
Yeah.
Di kong basta nabisa algo walkie pero nang act say otherwise. Like di kong iko inota mane fill me up.
Exactly.
And einana mo mane okay, wow, this is important, but we're not nos nota siya no se cocky of so. New hene mane bambisa mi no po expected di mi mayonan, kasi mi mayonan no sa. At all ko ting love languages.
Exactly.
Mi no po expect.
Let alone kiko dimita te panan cater to that.
Exactly. And mi no sa si mi po expected di society, but society sa ko ting love languages.
Yeah.
Do they think it's important? Because we're being taught ko mistake math, mistake languages, of course. Love language, pero it's not the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Nos mistake geschiedenis and all that, it's super whitewashed. Anyway, a conversation for another day. Dus ik koos niet actually nos mister nos nota wat siya. Kaya men uiteindelijk, but to go through life at Robe, not knowing shit about yourself.
Yeah.
And dat is bij completa me paso.
Yeah. A walking zombie.
Exactly. And di umbana bababisa, okay, di internet bababusca. Pero si bon saki bababusca.
Daqui vai dingo busca, com crovo da se busque.
Exactly.
Oops, sorry.
Girl, curse. This is called being on brand, okay? If you curse in your daily life, you're gonna curse now. Alright?
Yes, alright.
Okay, the rest of the episodes can be full of curse words.
Bleep.
Pero si bonosa all of that, si bonosa kiko kumesa busa, si bonosa una ba kumisa, bono tabay take that approach. Yeah. And I hope uiteindelijk mensen, ku episode ki si abo message koi, esa kita tabay ta porta, ku tabay yudawa ya kami na mo llega.
Yep. By Google but I a test.
Yes.
Enter ad.
Hello?
Yeah, so like that's definitely one of the things cool the important pabosa.
Yeah.
But also when it comes to connections of relationships, one thing is that you need to realize is that everyone is their own person.
Yeah.
And to porta mane I get to a level of knowing yourself. Pero no.
Yeah.
And the team biabo ta hanyabo ko botin ni ban inti kidi boni vel pa we meet them where they are. The question is, are you willing to do it? Is the person worth it pa wasie?
Yeah.
Kung largo ba dabei, all of that, the questions bumesti ni by answer, the bumesti by tap into your boundaries.
Yep.
Of the boundaries you set for yourself and for others, but hindi by tap into what is important for you.
Yeah.
Ki bo values nanta and tuko ko na itong moral un style pero si bo no sa all of that si bo no sa so inconscientemente no sin values kuno no sa DJ at all bo un style bo ko conoce bo mes sin ta aware ko bo conoce bo mes anto ku boting certain values ku bakong absorb from your environment.
Yeah.
But absorb from bohin ang rondo di bo a situation na go through, etc. And ku somehow we're not aware, DJ.
Yeah.
We're not aware ku bosanan. And si bono tap into yourself, bono sa.
Yep.
Bono sa ku ba pasa dentro ko na bono sa ku ik was niet dat important para abo. And
Exactly.
somehow with the cultura bagage, and the bag expected doing someone else to
Sad.
fulfill that.
Yeah.
And to sin saku. It's like a conversation for another day, people. Pero algo também nós não tá bom de jeito communicating. So até eu chega com full babakaja, com how you are. Nós tu que rush through life. Nós que drento coisa que tá. And somehow but expect que gente sa con MSR cater to you.
But it's delusional. En daarbij. En not daarbij. En they say, me de kere, basa nos tiene un voorbeeld, like the romantic movies that they make. Bo perfect match, bo twin flame, ta suppose di hole sa turcos dibo. No. Sorry.
No, honey.
It doesn't happen like that. You actually have to open your mouth and tell them, hey, I am this type of person. I like this. I don't like when you do this. Da 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 da. I feel like home communication ta frowned upon asina tanto. But so at some point within that, porta, people are gonna feel some type of way. Porta but delivery nota baita A1 and then on the receiving end, nangta receive it a certain way. Pero no por clear nada up by keeping your mouth shut. And that's something that I had to learn myself. Like, si un gente está haciendo algo, a mí te queda rabia, of me te queda feel sad, pero me te abre mi boca y say, hey, whack, you saying this or the way that you're saying it, it doesn't work for me. So how can I expect them to change it if I don't speak up about it?
Exactly. And atrobe mane, come se realiza tambe ku e gente mes tin su bagaje que ta carga ku ne. Anto ku porta e maneira ku eta papel cubo, of e maneira ku eta anda cubo, ta basari ba tudo bagagem que
Tem
la
marcan disso coisa, mano.
Sì, ando ora vo conosce, ora vo sa e coi, pode realizar ku ok, tipo bien durante mi que não conhece na mes. Não tem space para conhecer na mes. Tem gente, bijvoorbeeld, let's pick our parents bijvoorbeeld.
Yeah.
They didn't get the space, they got the time because na haya nos.
Yeah.
Anto
Hi, mom and dad.
Hi, mom and dad. Nang haya nos anto não também haya a oportunidade anymore para get to know themselves.
Yeah.
Anto style it's being nossa ignorar e coi inconscientemente passou. We have our other responsibilities that we think are important. Camina com nossa buta nós mesmos banda para nós take care of someone else.
Yeah.
And then boba aplica a kind of the way of thinking to other relationships as well. It could be like manema bisa your relationship with your parents, how your parents ta trata abo. It could be like bond, romantic bond.
Yeah.
Of it could be with
Friendships.
friends. It could be with anyone.
Yeah.
Gewoon hasta conocimientos. Bueno po mane zo mariega style expect ku hineta automatically sa things about you.
Exactly.
Por me se mane comunicar cierta cosa. Porque algo ku even I struggle with people. Pero
yeah, it's
Keep
not
your
always.
asses-
And we say it like, but now that we're talking about it, it comes off as like, okay, it's easy for you to say that, but it's something that to this day sometimes I don't know how to say something
exactly.
or when to say something or to who I can say something. There's ese también un cosco eventually, but then go figure out as you go. But eventually, the uncomfortable feeling that you have inside when you're in a situation of to the point where beside you've had enough. Eventually, with the way I able to speak up, so you getting to the point where like, homie, I need space at this time because it was just not
gonna work for me anymore.
Yeah, this at some point, your core tells you everything that you need to know. So eventually, the feeling of uncomfortability is too much to the point where you need to take a step back off. You need to do something differently, or you need to speak up. Pero communication is definitely important.
Yeah, and also respect.
Yeah.
Respect ku e gente ku bota bezig ta ku ta in front of you. Ta sumesum gente ku mester di sumesum kosnan ku mester ku abo no como me se cambia pe gente pero bo me se wak uma maneira ku bota anda que gente ku ta work pa e gente e no pa abo esse no que me ku bota buta bo mes na di dos lugar
Yeah.
pero gewoon bota wak
Mr.
way.
being common ground.
Sim, mr. being common ground kami na both of you ta yeah, kung ito bisa ko both of you tamane okay, this works for me.
Yeah.
I know you well enough to know that this works for you. So I'm gonna do the things that I can pa ori abota okay and pa nos relationship work.
Yeah.
Same goes for the other person.
Yep.
And asini bota ko balance and constantly bo mes realiza ko even in relationships. Wow, first you need to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
You need to get to know the other person as well.
Yeah.
But say ori bosa okay, knowing this person, a person gusta saki. Sa su love language sa saki, dus I'm gonna do more things to please a person asinaki. Of or me mes bring algo up communication dus. Mita
Como to bring it up.
Mita pakean asinaki, pe ori evita ko nosta plate of nosta kos. Of timbia mes bota realiza ko van posaki ko. I'm kita plate so much and not worth it. So lego maya koki.
Yeah.
So típico sa nga sina tamane butabo realiza ko there's a lot of getting to know
Me, you, them.
everyone and their mama.
Yeah.
Everyone and their mama. You need to get to know everyone and their mama because and it is not exhausting. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. I swear it is worth it. Why? Because bota hayabo ta evita masho because miss ku si orabo take a time, take a step back and be like, okay,
Yeah.
like, all right, this is how it works for them.
Yeah.
And keremi, it's okay ku bahas pero maybe ikaw ay fault anto bota mane basta kami no be like basta kami das na mas
Nada más. Yeah.
because si babae go around life like that, it's not gonna work.
Then, yeah.
Pero timbia in certo momento si ku uiteindelijk si Bobby sa okay minta hasi nada mas after trying so many times and it still doesn't work. It's okay to be like minta hasi nada mas.
Yeah.
Pero ori inana nos tap back into boundaries.
Yeah.
Te una bota llega.
Yeah.
Te una abo como persona te llega. Ando inana bota realizar okay, I try to get to know myself.
Yep.
Another level of
Yeah.
getting to know myself.
This
Okay.
is my turning point. This is where I'm getting. This is where I'm stopping.
See.
And that's okay for you to have your boundaries, but it's also then you need to also know that other people have their boundaries too. And they say that eko di mene bomese sa ki aba su limita bomese ki otra ne su limita. And they say that eko I feel like now ting tu costa mane un quick fix que boda quiere nada no me se get bomese work on anything. Pero it tuko que man, even when you go into relationships, like you have to work on you, he or she or whichever has to work on them, and y'all have to work on each other. So it's like, yeah, it's hard work, but eventually ora bo llega on the other side, but wow, that was worth it. So eventually it's
For
like,
sure.
but quando como sabi na em tono ko, but just go through crap, and you don't learn anything from it. Kiko the nöte pa babai den ture doloy cabeça singbo find a lesson. Sometimes it doesn't come up mesora.
No.
And sometimes you, like you said, you have to fail and try again and fail and try again. Pero cada día que vos fail and try again, you're one step closer, if that makes any sense.
Sí.
You know?
Sí. Pero timbia, like, if you're not, algo me mesa realizar, if you're not getting, si bueno, sim, el lesson como me decía, ete queda bem, pero cada dia que bini, ete bem um tique mais duidelijk, um tique mais duidelijk, um tique mais
Então
duidelijk.
vou struggle com ele vir um tique menos, mas abo tem nugget mais dentro da cabeça que eu vou
No,
usar.
yeah, I mean, it depende si, so I've seen people go through money, not being aware of things. Ku money
Exacto, te queda repetir,
te queda
struggle, te
repetir.
queda mesmo coisa.
Sí.
Exactly, so that goes back to the fact that you have to find the lesson in what you went through. If you don't see it, if you don't work on it,
queda
não há it work,
te queda
te queda passa mesmo coisa, a level of confusion da vira mais tanto,
Yes,
but go deeper
yes.
into your crap.
Yes.
Especially sometimes it's hard, and sometimes when like I said, I'm overly emotional. I feel things to the 10th power. Being in the situation, dealing with the situation to be un tiki too much for me. So then I have to leave it and then come back to it. But eventually, botinko by sit and maybe ugly cry and do all the work that you need to do. But so si no nunca bonta by pass echo. You know what I mean? Exactly. So like I dealt with something in the beginning of the year, and Christmas I had a breakdown because I put it in the back burner for so long. Eventually it gotta show up in your face and be like, dude, you put me in the trash, but I crept up and now it's Christmas and you can go ugly cry now and get it over. The second, there's eventually bonodil kune, it'll be pop up at the most unexpected time. Table to see the minute like, where did this come from?
Exactly.
Well, 10 una pasa bondil kumito. So hi.
Pero
here I am.
be mane timbiaba bota deal ku cierta cosa quiere ku bahil.
Triggers that
turns
come
out
up.
see triggers that get come up and like it's okay.
También.
Pa boke ora ba quiere ku bahil from something. It be back.
Yeah.
It's another level of getting to know yourself.
Yeah.
So juist a turning point, a aha moment. Hey, tabu taku okay, I have to approach it differently.
Yeah.
Então, queremos não tá querendo a mesma persona.
No.
We're constantly evolving. Mesmo coisa que nós está crescendo, nós está like nós está vira largo, sabe? Gente grande não cabelo vira shinishi.
Yep.
What
We experience physical changes. We evolve physically.
We evolve here.
Internally
We
as
evolve.
well.
We evolve mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Ooh, nasa evolve for sure spiritually, and the reason why I'm saying that is because nito ko my own personal experience.
Yeah.
Malanda ng família católico.
Yeah.
Me tava by church. Me see people kung tava by church kune kami di religion.
Yeah.
Aqui na nós temos a religião cristã. É cristão católico.
Yeah.
Nós temos Islam. Não sei se tem outro aqui não. Pero esse ainda é sunang kuting é base na at least. Anto dus botalanta style bo saco ting mas religião rondi bo. Pero
these are the ones you're exposed to.
See, these are the ones you're exposed to, but at the same time, buko no say assim, hena nan dembo círculo, hena nan dembo environment, ta seja católico of Christian, dus esse bosta, anto esse bota querer, bota assumir, of hena ta sinha, buko esse ta esunku bo me se follow. And at some point, it wasn't working out for me anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't believe in God, but the approach to God. The manera como alanta denje no tava work for me.
Yep.
So I had to go within and find what works for me.
Yeah.
And I swear, come with a lot of struggles, but also being a rebel in style. Paso mita mane, you know what? I'm not gonna practice anything.
Yeah.
And anyone that tells me ku lo que masinha tabata right, I'm gonna be no, it's wrong.
Yeah.
And ora me llega el level A, aí llega un punto, me toca aquí que tabata a turning point. Me te quiere reportar, it was probably the pandemic.
Yeah.
Pero kung tabata mane, okay, di kong, why am I reacting to this way?
Yeah.
If it makes me so angry, then there must be something.
Yep.
And the ori makumisa tap into okay di kong anto ora maya sa di kong kiko ta work for me instead. And the ori makumisa kani kaminda van okay, what is important is having a relationship with God, a personal relationship with God. Personal. And I stress on the personal because here at Robe nos talanta de una comunidad kutur cosas nos experience together. There's a feeling of togetherness who bono queda bais according to how tu rende the bisa paso bono que be left out. You don't want to be alone. So inanang paami iko work for me. So I had to go back and create a personal relationship with God, and the practices that makes me feel comfortable, the practice that makes me feel good about myself. And ku ora ku bambisa I pray, mita like okay with it, ora mi kaba pray. It's not something that I'm like hello God, it's me again. Masia pray this way, and I hope this works. Me espera que mi cosa llega. Por cada llega. Pero botas going through it mani así na like ku enota mani enota comfortable for you. Pues bo message ku ba manda pa Dios te llega. That is voicemail of app. I don't know what God used up there. Pero eta llega. Pero ba struggle as no pipa bo llega nang. Pero di ahorita mania di como da si tu recone. So pa ami trobe mi the team find un way to work pa ami pa mi asi. Ando inana ori ma combine it with meditation. But so if there's one thing I can tell y'all, meditation and teach ami to be aware about myself. Cause somehow after like a week or two the meditation, de repente I was like looking at yourself from a third person perspective.
Yeah, like having an outer body experience.
Sí, letterlijk ekoy. And it's so amazing. But so bota mane, di repente me comienza a question mane Rudina, pero di como ta se koy. Di con ko kita trigger bo. Di con kigo anto mita mane what? Who are you? Why do you ask me these questions? So einana ta dos different practices who eigenlijk not belong to the same religion. Anto pero can work for me.
Exactly.
Dus einana mi mesra kita filo que society assim a mim assim na casa, assim a. Você com na escola tur camina com me acostuma com ele na chiquito. Mi mesra detach mi mesra say and to create me own box. Cause uiteindelijk keremi. Bomesik constantly, but be realiza or get to know yourself. You are yourself. You're yourself before everything else. You're not forced to be like bonota força pa ta un cierto coisa para certo gente. Pero não se quer, não se força.
You have to become aware of that. But so society to tell but otherwise. Society, wherever you're from, your society, but so society aquí nanta pensa otro, society na Holanda te pensa otro, whatever. Pero where you came from, but so we went to a Catholic church when I was little. Then mabay America, and I went to a private Christian school. There's those different society mita bata ading, right? And you grow up thinking at first, misa kumita bay na Corsao is nothing like the church I went to, ora mabay America. And at some point, obviously I was younger na Corsao tambe, pero ora mabay America, the church there was very important for the process that I was going through at that time. And después masigi evolve, and at some point it was just I still felt lost in the sense that it wasn't catering to me how it was before. So it's like it just wasn't sitting well for me. But then I still had my parents who were still churchgoers, who were still praying and who were still doing this and that, and that they say so mira. But then the internet can be a blessing and a curse. Mira there's other ways of doing things. And dude, you're your own guinea pig. Come and try everything and see what sticks. See what sticks. So you meditate, you pray. It's like very keen in one type of religion, and then the otro keen in the other type of religion, but they mix perfectly well for you.
Exactly.
Why do you have to keep doing something that your mom or your dad or whatever tells you is the right way, well, it doesn't sit well with you? How the heck do you make that connection? Because now you're doing what you do, you feel a higher connection with the higher self, as you did before you did like a few years ago.
Sí.
Pues vos estás haciendo ecos que te work pa abo.
Yes.
Vos sabes con ando me te quere esita ta hopi importante. Entonces también no don't knock something until you try it. Of at least when you learn about it. Pues por tapo te haciendo ando visa, but I love like Hinduism, so me también people look like outside looking and they're like, okay, maybe that's weird. Like it's different. Well, yeah. Es not normal. It's weird, but in reality, it's just different than your norm. And you don't even know what it's about. Tepabo bisa mane not for me.
Exactly.
And at some point, ora bobira, everybody is literally doing the same thing. Everybody's trying to have a connection with the higher self, whatever you call it. Maybe God, universe, whatever it is. Tu rende su main goal to have a connection with the higher.
Exactly, the creator.
Exactly. And at some point, dude, if I do it by going to the beach and listening to the waves, I'm doing the same thing you're doing when you're on your knees with your hand like this or like this. I don't know.
Exactly. It's the same way you're trying to have a connection with the higher being, God, the universe, source.
Which also correlates with the getting to know yourself.
Exactly.
We're all trying to do the same thing using different methods.
Exactly. And the cosa me como assim, it's okay. It's okay, pabo. Go back to the practices you had before. It's okay, kumane. Okay, ora makabaha si tura konanki. Kuma get away with the work pa ami. Okay, bam. Ekonanku mitata practice before. Bang ko sinanta tra trove.
Ekoi.
Purba trove. Try again. Try. Ando pa mane before pa ami tindia. All I need is a prayer and a meditation. There's days who I need prayer, meditation, a motivational video.
Yep.
There's days kung midalata lagalanta and watch a Christian sermon.
Yeah.
There's days that I need like basta to read a scripture from the Bible.
Yeah.
There's days I need to read let's say my horoscope. I don't know. There's days I need to read a book. And this somehow I think this applies to all the things that we talk: mind, body, soul, spirit. Ku uiteindelijk patur bota by hayabo cada dia porta simang I practice something and tell work, but the next week it doesn't work. And they say ore bo me se queda mane. Okay, figure out kiko to work pa ami. And it's a constant figuring out that you need to do. So lo que work pa abo awe, no te work pa abo mayang. Balanta porta malu awe. You don't want to do anything. That is totally okay.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna do anything. That's fine. But just drew me. That's what you need. That's self-care.
Yeah.
Inana no sabay back to self-care already.
So in the beginning, so in America it was like they start off with worship and then the sermon and then like worship to head us all out. And since then, worship pa ami tabata echt moment pa mi mes. And te ainda like after, because I haven't gone to church in a while, so me feeling good listening to worship music, like I felt guilty feeling good listening to worship music knowing I haven't gone to church in a long time. And the minute pasó nanda bisa bosa you have to go to the house of God. And the ding mi mes okay. Pero I've been there in the sense that you have to go to the house of God. Not bashing anybody that does it, but my thing is, it works for you, pero a mí por connect way better when I'm by myself in my room blasting worship music.
Yes.
So, como que bisa a mí, con mi practice, terwijl I know I'm feeling it, but de inclinar a mí sus feelings, pasó en otra lo que abatahasi. It's the same thing with cualquier cosa. Porta a mí tá tendo quote então me também preach. E não assim nada pabo. And that's completely fine. Porta é siguiente via a mí também been there, done that, and then ela het abo.
Yes.
Basa? So it's me visa, it's we have to be open to the fact that not everybody is the same. And everybody is their own person. Mes ko abota bo own person. So ese tambe tu moment ko badin ko check bo mene if you're feeling uncomfortable or triggered by someone doing them, are you just a little uncomfortable because you're not doing you?
Ooh.
So it's like it's really I say that dude, if I feel good doing this, I feel good doing it. Sorry that you feel that way, but that's something you have to deal with. But so at some point getting to know yourself, it's like, dude, yourself shows up continuously and you have to tap into that. You have to pay attention to that because life is too short. Pabo sin tawari kiko
otro yun que pabasi of
yeah.
Kiko otro yun que pabasi Kiko society that expect from you.
What about yourself?
Kiko abot expect people.
Ekoi, and the two yami bisa mene at some point ora shit hits the fan. Tabo sota sin da mo camera da yora. So you might as well do what you think is right for you.
Yeah.
But
if that means women to lean on other people, then do that. If that means you gotta stay dembo camera yora for like a few days, then do that. But ora bacaba, pick yourself up and to buy explore.
Just
okay,
stuff
di
and try again.
Di koma yora.
Yeah.
Kiko to work for me the next time ore. And to try to change it. But so si constantly get a yora for a year, then sorry, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you're not tapping into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way cada in situation the difference is who am I to tell you how to do it.
Exactly.
So atrobe, get to know yourself. Get to know yourself.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's really up to you. Como te pak aan vida, como te pak aan both situations, nan como te pak aan relationships, como te pak aan bo relationship with the higher being, God. Como te pak aan self-care.
Yep.
Because it's not the same for everyone. Everyone has their own way to somewhere.
Yeah.
Turende que reach enlightenment. Turende que reach a moment kunanta mane, I can finally rest.
Yeah.
Pero créeme, you're not always gonna get there. You're a constant work in progress.
Yeah.
You're constantly have to get up, fall, get up again, fall.
Yep.
You know? Like, e não tá bem, créeme, não tá bem tá fácil, pero tá bem tá worth it.
Yep.
E tá bem tá worth it because you just, at the end of the day, ora que eu vou look back, bota mané, wow.
Yeah.
Wak una ma llega.
Yep.
Wak una ma llega. And yeah, nos turta constant work in progress.
Yeah.
Nos turta constant work in progress. And you cannot be hard on yourself. Si awe bo a hasi algo ku porta work for you yesterday but it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
It didn't work for you today.
Yeah. And don't feel bad about changing. Like,
hey.
Janae, where she's like, shame on me for changing. No, shame on you for staying the same. And it's sometimes you may feel like, okay, you were a different person 10 months ago. Why are you the same person that you were 10 months ago? Basakong, kaman, obviously, bonding ko kami look at the workout basakong, but keep it a scene. Ora bo scene, but supposed to apply ko itang bal. Bo passa den course and the bono see a fidget of bo buy training behind certain tools whatever and the bono use them. What's the purpose of that? And eventually, like I said, continuously evolving beings is what we are.
Yeah. That's how it is. That's simply how it is. Oh my God, there was such a nice conversation. And the Misabinos will go on and on and on and on.
Like
and
we know
on.
we can do.
Exactly, because once people, no se meet at 11, we arrived there and the time we left that place was at 3. So that's how much we talk.
Jesus Christ.
So I know we can talk all day, pero helaas is around the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having this conversation with me.
Thank you for having
deep.
me. Yes.
It was deep. But it totally worth it.
Yeah. I hope people pick up what we put down.
Yeah.
If not, then That's fine too.
Exactly. The purpose the episode aqui
Reach the one that
it has to reach.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're having this conversation for a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, so I'm happy. I'm really happy que vai accept my invitation, and that we got to do this.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. Me espero bastante também. I enjoy a conversation. Me espero bastante por pick things up from lo que nossa papia. Like if you si bahaya algo that amazing about this, comment somewhere. Make sure you follow my amazing friend Philny. She's amazing. She's literally amazing.
Thank you.
And I will be putting her socials down here somewhere. And follow our podcast because, as you can see, we're always having interesting conversations.
They put out good content. We do.
And that is totally worth it watching all the episodes we have out. Mita super grateful kumita for have like this one right here na boneiro for to take my own take because atrobe usually I'm the producer, so I'm the one who to talk less style.
Yeah.
Pero yeah, so follow our podcast. Follow me as well on my socials and follow my amazing co-hosts também. Make sure que nas socials está somewhere aqui below. And yeah, I guess this is all for this episode then.
Yes.
And I guess we'll see each other on another episode. Bye. Bye. Mwah.